Oh, we'll just say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have some special guests in attendance with us tonight. Tom Raffio, CEO of Northeast Delta Dental and a community partner with Concord High School. Michael Reardon, principal of Concord High School. And we have 3 New Hampshire scholars and Concord High School students that will be recognized tonight for receiving a New Hampshire Scholar Scholarship. Before we begin, I would like to extend my gratitude to people behind the scenes who have made tonight's ceremony possible. First, thank you, Mr. Raffio, tonight's guest speaker and CEO Northeast Delta Dental. Through the continued support of you and Northeast Delta Dental, we are able to provide scholarships and scholastic opportunities for our students. We're so fortunate to have such great community partners. Thank you to Christine Bozeman, who has put in countless hours behind the scenes, organizing tonight's event and designing the program. Thank you to all CHS school counselors, teachers, and staff for assisting tonight's recipients over the last 4 years in achieving their goals to become a New Hampshire Scholar. Thank you to Concord Television staff, especially Josh Hardy, for all your assistance to ensure that New Hampshire scholars, families, and CHS staff will be able to view tonight's ceremony virtually. Lastly, but not least, a special thank you to parents, guardians, and families that have supported all who will be recognized tonight. You have been the pillars holding these students up for the last 12 plus years of their educational experience. New Hampshire Scholars is a community-based program that encourages and recognizes students who are taking a more rigorous course of studies. It is founded in partnership between a community, local business leaders, and school district. Tonight is a very special ceremony in which we celebrate academic success of students who have achieved New Hampshire Scholars. In addition, for the first time, we will be recognizing students who have completed a demanding career and technical program of studies, which has required them to earn credit hours, afford postgraduate training, internship experiences, and specialized certification. Tonight's recipients have achieved and maintained academic success under some of the most difficult circumstances, as we were thrust into a virtual learning environment. This virtual event is just one more reminder that we're all in this together, full tide. At this time, I would like to invite Principal Mike Reardon to deliver the opening address. Mr. Reardon has served this past year as Concord High School's interim principal and will be joining us again next year as a permanent principal. Mike comes to us with 17 years of experience as a high school principal. Thank you, Mike. Mike? Oh, I think we lost Mr. Reardon. All right. With that, the show must go on. When Mr. Reardon's able to join us, we'll come back to him. Next, I would like to take an opportunity, guest speaker, who will also be presenting New Hampshire Scholar Scholarships for this year's recipients. Tom Raffio is the president and CEO of Northeast Delta Dental, the Concord-based dental insurance company that administers dental benefits to over 918,000 people in Maine. Tom is a graduate at Harvard University, has an MBA from Babson College, and a fellow of Life Management Institute. Since moving to New Hampshire in 1995, Tom has been an engaged civic leader. His current community involvement includes, but is not limited to, Chair of New Hampshire Coalition, Chairman of the Bow Schools Foundation, Board Member, former Chairman of the Board for Early Learning New Hampshire, Board Member of the New Hampshire Fisher Cats Foundation. He is also a member of New Hampshire Scholars Leadership Board, where he serves as a champion. Tom serves on the New Hampshire Historical Society's Democracy Project Committee as well. In 2008, Tom co-authored Mindfulness, a better me, a better you, a better world with organizational change and leadership expert, Annabelle Burrell. In 2013, Tom also co-authored There Are No Do-Overs, The Big Red Factors for Sustaining Business Long-Term with NBA Hall of Famer Dave Cohen's and former Northeast Delta Dental colleague Barbara McLaughlin. At this time, please join me in welcoming Tom Raffio.
Hi, everybody. Can you give me a high sign if you can hear me? Something like this? Everybody's good? Okay, great. Roll Tide. What do you think of my background here that Steve set up? Little palm tree, whatever. Well, all right, Steve. So anyway, good evening. So I've been living on Zoom, like probably most of you, teleconferences. So I always start by indicating that I hope everybody is safe and healthy. That's the number one thing. So is everybody good? Thumbs up? Great. Again, Roll Tide. And thank you, Assistant Principal Herbert and Principal Mike Reardon, who I've known for many years when he was at Pembroke. And you are lucky with our leaders. And want to thank my buddy here, Steve. We're 6 feet apart, who set up this technology. I'm actually right in Concord High School. It is really strange to be practically the only person here because normally this place is bustling. And after the presentation, I get to have refreshments with you. So we're going to have to do it virtually tonight. But it's a real honor to be here tonight, there to recognize 148 of you seniors who have successfully completed the New Hampshire Scholars curriculum, and 10 of whom are the school's first designees in the newly created career pathway. All I can tell you is your commitment to challenging yourself with rigorous courses is commendable. And I want to stop right here to reintroduce Mike. If Mike, do you want to say a few words? You hear me? Nope. I will continue. But also I think everybody could stop for a minute and thank all the moms and dads and other family members who supported you in your journey. No child, no student can be successful without a supportive family system. So this is for moms and dads. And they're the ones that encouraged you back in 8th or 9th grade to get involved with the Scholars Program. So tonight I'm going to offer a few remarks, both as CEO of Northeast Delta Dental, as well as former chair of the State Board of Education, as well as on the board of the New Hampshire Scholars Board. So it's great for me to see so many people with the Scholars designation. And I'll also throw in a few words as CEO of Northeast Delta Dental. So let me start by saying, for you all in the class of 2020, I know this has been a year of challenges. It started with challenges, and now it's closing with challenges. You've missed out on traditional senior milestones, proms, graduations, sports seasons. I'm a jock. I love sports. I lettered every year in my high school career. It really would have been devastating thinking back if I didn't get to play my spring season or the end of my winter season. And yet you face that with grit and determination. I commend you. And you're also facing a difficult economy. Some of you may have had summer jobs all lined up. Perhaps those have gone away. Maybe you're going to a different college. Maybe you're not going to college. Maybe you're not going on now because of COVID-19. But don't let that bring you down, because what you have learned this year, starting in the fall all the way till now, is grit. Grit, perseverance, determination, and the ability to move on. And quite candidly, that's what employers are actually looking for. When I hire employees, I'm looking for young people that have shown that they have grit and determination. And that's really what you've learned this year. I can also say with confidence that every college, university, and employer in New Hampshire recognizes how important academic preparation is, whether it's for your next workplace or whether it's going on to a 2-year school, military, a trade, or a 4-year school. We're all looking for students who have demonstrated that they've taken rigorous courses. Unquestionably, increasing academic rigor at the high school level is at the forefront of just about every conversation in education today. When I was at the State Board of Education, this is all that we talked about. When I'm at the Coalition for Business and Education, which is an organization that combines businesses and academic folks, that's all we talk about is the ability of students to take challenging courses. When we do surveys of students from 4 or 5 years ago, what many of them said was, I wish I had taken more challenging courses. That became the development of a very robust scholars program, because we didn't want to survey you and find out, gee, I wish I had taken more AP courses, or I wish I had taken more math, or whatever your passion is. And let me pause there with regard to passion. Take if you go on to a 2 or 4 year school, take courses that you're passionate about. I was an English major at Harvard. I ended up getting in business. I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I know I wanted, in my case, to read about Shakespeare, to read about history. So don't do your best. Don't worry about your grade per se. You want to do good. I know we all want A's and B's, and because of that, you have the scholars program. But take courses as you continue education that you have passion for. And if you're going on to the workforce, I tell this to my own children. They're a little older than you, but you better be passionate about your work, because guess what? You have 40 more years of getting up and going into the office. And I have been doing that since 1978. I love it. It's not work. I love getting in. I love doing, what I'm doing in terms of, dental health and customer service. And let me pause now too to say a little bit how we've all had to change. My life used to be, I would be out every night going to events, making presentations to people live as opposed to necessarily Zoom. I was always on the go, always moving. My life now is getting up in the morning, trying to take a walk, basically doing like literally 500 emails before I get into the office. Then I get into the office and do more emails, because it's all about communication. So we've all had to adapt. You can tell from my hair, I mean, part of this is the background that Steve set up for me, but part of it is I haven't been able to get a haircut. Finally, I think I have an appointment, next week. So we've all of us have had to adapt as you have. What I did, what my leadership style is servant leadership. So on or around March 16th, when COVID-19 really hit, at least from an employer's perspective, the first thing I did was get everybody safely home, working from home. That could. That's the first thing. Second thing I did was make sure that all of our dentists in our network had financial relief so they could open up, as they did in New Hampshire last week. And then the third thing that I did was make sure that the employers who pay for the dental benefits also got relief, and we announced that last week. But the point is, we started internally, keep yourself safe, respect the social distancing. Once we got that under control, then we could take care of our external customers. So all of us have had to adapt. Believe me, I think many of you know, I used to do 100 road races a year. Not fast, but I just love the adrenaline rush of competition. There are no more road races, obviously, because of social distancing. So now what I have to do is trudge out there virtually and do a run all by myself. So the whole point is all of us have had to adapt because of COVID-19. But what I'm telling you is, between what you went through in the fall and now, you have got this incredible grit, that an employer is going to look for. And if you're going on to your next level of education, that's going to serve you well, whether you continue virtual learning or go on site. Some statistics. This year's class, 44% of you are graduating as a scholar. That's amazing. Since the program only started in 2012. I've been involved with the program since 2007 with Winnisquam High School. And for years, I was trying to get all high schools to adopt this program. And finally, we did in 2012. And so the fact that Concord has nearly half of you with the Scholars Medallion, it's incredible. So that's why I say, as I said earlier, roll tide. You may not have realized why you were asked to take so much math and science and language arts, but I can tell you this will, in fact, serve you well. I'm a little disappointed I can't see you in person. One of the most joyful things in years past has been after my presentation and after the medallions were passed out, I got to talk to your parents, your mom, your dad, your sisters, brothers, uncles, grandparents over some refreshments. And certainly going to miss that. But know that I'm thinking about you and have tremendous amount of confidence that you'll be able to go on to your next step. Now, you will be facing some unknown challenges. So I want to give you a little tip on a way you can handle some of the challenges. Tim mentioned that I've written a book on mindfulness. In past years, I would begin this thought in terms of mindfulness was we have to find a balance between technology and human interaction. Well, guess what? That can't be the message tonight, right? Because we're all forced to be virtual. However, I think you can still find that balance. So I want you to continue to use your smartphones and Facebook. I do a lot of Facebook. Part of my responsibility in terms of social media. But you need to also be mindful. And one of the major tenets or principles of mindfulness is what I call unitasking, which means do one task at a time. Your brain, all of us are wired to be binary, meaning when we're on the phone, we're not paying attention to the email we may be doing. If you're texting someone, you're not paying attention to the person that's in the room with you. There's a lot of research suggesting that we're much more efficient and effective if we do one thing at a time, or what I call unitasking. Also, communicate mindfully, truly listening, be non-judgmental. Don't be thinking about the next thing that you need to say. And again, use your time well. You can actually be more efficient by not multitasking, which many of us pride ourselves on multitasking, but I suggest to you that unitasking is the way to go. And the way I learned that is before COVID-19, I would walk around our campus at 1 and 2 Delta, and I would see employees talking to a customer on the phone, typing at the same time. And then I would look at their emails that they did to another customer, and they weren't so great. And that was because they were trying to talk on the phone with another customer while typing to still a different customer. So I've demonstrated to my own employees that it's much better unitask. And then finally, meditation. I'm not sitting here tonight. Steve will attest. I'm not sitting here with earth shoes. I'm not a guru. All I mean by meditation is, and this is what I do, I spend 5 minutes by myself in the morning before I go to work, get my act together, and at the end of the day, before I return home, I spend another 5 minutes by myself, reflecting on the day. So however you define a little bit of meditation, I would encourage you to do that. It's also a great stress reliever. So let me again congratulate you and just say a few words about graduation. It really is your time. Again, I hope that in your home tonight that you will give your mom and dad, other support people in your family, a standing ovation, because they did support you on this journey, both in terms of the scholars, but also your overall graduation. But remember, it's also your time, to celebrate yourself. And while you certainly have had a challenge this whole year, candidly, let's face it, the whole year has been a challenge. You have come through it. You have bonded, even if the last couple months have been virtual. You have been successful. Those of you that are getting the medallion tonight, it's terrific that even through virtual learning, you're able to take the more rigorous courses. So celebrate yourself as well. And as Steven Spielberg says, hang on to your dreams. The world is still our oyster. We will get through this COVID-19. There'll be new norms. Let me give you an example by what I mean that there'll be new norms. I love to ski. 25 years ago, if you were on a ski mountain, name a mountain, Mount Sunapee, Pat's Peak, any mountain, Ragged, thank you, Steve, Wildcat, wherever, nobody wore a helmet. And if you saw someone with a helmet, you kind of raised your eyebrows. You now go on a ski mountain, Ragged, Steve, or anywhere, everybody has a helmet, and someone without a helmet then gets the raised eyebrows. So the point is, we will get through this. If you go, there'll be events. Yes, you may have to wear your mask at times. You may have a table that might normally fit 10 students now can only fit 4 students, but we will get through it. I was at the eye doctor today. It worked out fine. There was hardly anybody in the waiting room. You do a distance. So we will get through this, and you will have a great future because you've already proven you're smart by getting the Scholars Medallion, and something that no other class ever can say that they were the first class in COVID-19. So you have this grit and determination that no other class had. So I congratulate you. And the only other advice I would give you, if you're going on to freshman, we used to call it the freshman 15, gaining weight as freshman. I have done the quarantine 19 because so much I haven't been able to run as much. So basically, keep yourself well as well, because you have to be physically well to also be mentally healthy. So again, I congratulate you, your moms and dads, and all of your family members. And thank you, leadership, for allowing me this opportunity. Even virtually, this is one of my favorite nights of the year. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. Mike, would you like a moment to address the students? We lost you earlier.
The first thing, wait a minute. And the first thing I want to do is apologize. New Hampshire scholars and your parents, I don't want to reveal too much about myself other than the fact that if I'm within hailing distance of any type of technology, it has the possibility of creating a world cataclysm. So I'm just warning you. I'm not sure what happened there, but it just, the whole thing shut down on me. And guys, first of all, congratulations on your significant achievement. I'm not going to talk to you long, and the irony is that I should be listening to you, not you to me. But if I had this thing when I talk to student groups, that the idea of what it means to be educated, be an educated young man or woman. If you were to go on a field trip or a trip with your parents to Washington, and you get off the bus and you look around at the architecture of the government buildings, and you understand the connection between that architecture, the friezes and the columns and all of that stuff, and ancient Greece, and some of the really profound and truly revolutionary ideas that the Greeks developed in our country, and how that's affected our country, then I think on some level you are educated. So the Greeks had this word, sophron, which means that you have intellect, that you have judgment, that you have prudence, that you have character. It's really, there's nothing like that word that can be translated in English. But I want to suggest to you guys that you are kind of continuing that tradition on your own level as high school students. You're continuing that tradition. You think back to the Greeks again, and powerful ideas like the Olympics. The equivalent of working on a certain level of excellence in the human body, and what it can produce in speed and gracefulness and all of that stuff. The ideas of balance in one's life and so forth. And that's really where you guys, in terms of the commitment to your studies, the talent that you bring to it, you're really part of that tradition. And tonight is about celebrating that achievement, and that's really, really important. It's important for your parents to see what wonderful young men and women they've raised. But I want to suggest one other thing to you, and then I'll shut up. We are celebrating you rightly for what you've done, but it doesn't take even someone of your accomplishment to look around at our world. And I'm not just talking about COVID-19. You look around at our world and you see a lot of really troubling things going on. We face, regardless of how we progress in terms of technology and whatever toys and gadgets we develop, or however well we think of ourselves, we still struggle with some of the same things that the Greeks struggled with. Ancient Greece, Athens was not, everybody wasn't taught walking around spouting philosophy. They had slaves. They had certainly had countless wars that they were involved in. They weren't perfect people, but they were able to rise above that from time to time, 2,500 years ago, and come up with some really powerful ideas. And I'm suggesting to you guys that you have the wherewithal to continue that tradition. You are part of that tradition. And so, yeah, we celebrate you, but we celebrate, you know what? In a selfish way, guys, we're celebrating your promise because we need you. We need you not just to achieve in high school. That's where you're preparing yourselves. We need you to go on the rest of your lives with this level of dedication and commitment to making the world a better place. Because if that doesn't happen, guys, we're in deep trouble. So we want to celebrate, but I also want to say to you seriously, you have a lot of responsibility to use the talents that you have developed to make all of our lives better. So thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for representing Concord High School and the type of students that you are. Really makes it a special place. Thank you.
Nice. I would like to invite Tom Raffio to introduce our New Hampshire Scholarship recipients this year. We have 2 out of the 3 recipients here with us tonight, and when he calls your name, feel free to unmute, engage, share with us what your postgraduate plans are, or whatever you feel like sharing that you're doing as a hobby now that we're in, stay at home and coming out of, I guess, quarantine, so to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal Reardon. And Concord High School is lucky to have you next year again. So thank you. And Mike said something very important, which is that you all the graduates, you're in the best position to remake the world. So I'm pleased to announce the $500 New Hampshire Scholars Scholarship. The first one goes to Finley Allen. Finley there?
Yeah. Hi.
All right, Finley. You'll be able to pick this up from Assistant Principal Tim. But would you like to say a few words? What it took to be a scholar and what your plans are?
Sure. So my plans for after high school are to go to NHTI for 2 years and get a human services degree with a second year in mental health. And then from there, I plan on going to a 4-year school and becoming an art therapist. So, yeah.
That's incredible. And we're neighbors of NHTI. That's a great program and a great use of resources, and then go on from there. And of course, as Principal Reardon was intimating, mental health is, one of our huge issues. So congratulations, Finley. That's awesome. The next recipient, Anders Norton. Is Anders here?
Anders is not with us tonight, unfortunately.
He's not, but we do have his.
Hold on one second, Tom. He may be in the waiting room.
Ooh, great.
Hey, hello, is this Anders? Let me. We can continue, Tom.
Okay. Well, Tim, you're doing. By the way, Tim, you and Steve done this has been magical. I particularly like the palm trees in the background. Yeah. All right. So our third recipient of the New Hampshire Scholarship provided by Northeast Delta Dental is Brianna Sozini. And I'd like Brianna to say a few words. Brianna, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
So tell us how you managed to do all the hard work given everything that was going on and what your future plans are.
So I'm going to the University of New Hampshire next year. And then I want to go to law school I'm planning on, but plans do change, but that's what I'm hoping on right now.
That's great. Did anything surprise you when you were taking the AP and other courses required on the scholars program?
One thing was for the 2 art credits, I took film study instead of like another normal art class, and I liked that because I like English classes. So that was nice, like to know I could do that too.
Great. And if you were giving advice to an 8th or 9th grader, what would you say about getting
take advantage of study halls and open periods because that's when I got a lot of my work done.
Great advice. I'll ask one more time. Did Anders make it? No. Okay. Well,
Anders right there. Yep.
I did. Yeah.
Oh,
sorry, I'm late.
Anders. So tell us what was your secret to success to be a successful scholars and what your future plans are.
Well, my future plans are next year I'm going to the University of Vermont, and I'm studying business. And I would say that my key to success was just making sure I got all my work in on time and keeping a good schedule.
So right there is, it doesn't sound too deep, but it really is, because one of the most successful employees at Northeast Delta Dental, if I look at all my employees, people that show up, do their work, 8:30 means 8:30, schedule yourself. So those softer skills that Anders referenced are incredibly important to your success in your next chapter, whether it's school or business. And Anders, I get to Burlington a lot because UVM is one of our Delta Dental clients. So I'll check in on you to make sure that that you're going to class. How's that?
Sounds perfect.
All right. Congratulations. That's all. I'm glad we got all three. And Tim, you'll make sure everybody gets these.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to say one last thing, and that is, who knows if there will be baseball. Major League Baseball is supposed to start in July, and then supposedly a couple weeks after, there could be minor league baseball. It's not clear, but normally we would be celebrating at a New Hampshire Fisher Cats game at Northeast Delta Dental Stadium. That obviously didn't happen, but we will have tickets to August 5th if, in fact, there is a Fisher Cats schedule. But know that we're thinking of you, and again, I'm just so thrilled to be a part of Concord High School, Go Tide, and coming back. And even though this year it's virtually, I feel as close to you students as I've done in prior years. So thank you, Tim, thank you, Mike, and I'm looking forward to listening to all over the 100 of folks who received this award. So I'll turn it back to you, Tim. Thank you, parents, too, as well, for listening to me.
Thank you, Tom. Much appreciated. At this time, I'm going to begin the roll call of this year's 2020 Concord High School New Hampshire Scholars recipients. So please join me in congratulating them. Colby Aiken, Finley Allen, Rashid Amari, Paige Ronnie Aquino, Julie O, Daniel Ibar, Alana Babushkina, Tatiana Bahia, Yvette Benedico, Junior Baruani, Eric Bedard, Travis Bettens, Brittany Bilodeau, Nathaniel Blake, Ryer Bliss, Kayla Bondra, Serena Burritos, Kyla Focals, Clay Burgess, Matthew Burns, Rylan Cananabano, John Carter, Jace Castellano, Liam Connery, David Cook, Abigail Corbett, Ava Cody, Megan Cox, Heather Dearborn, Sarah Degler, Nicholas Demetrio, Shelby Demingway, Lily Degros-Zellier, Aiden Desjardins, Ryan Devine, Madeline Dixon, my apologies, Ella Deers, Aaron Doherty, Ella Doherty, Madeline Dustin, Ellie Erickson, Maya Fabosi, Noah Ford, Jacob Free, Courtney Gage, Alexander Galatas, Amanda Gamache, Megan Gary, Lauren Gilman, Juliana Giovanelli, Anna Goebel, Rodrigo Godoy, Gavin Graham, Macy Grant, Kelsey Grayson, William Griffith, Sunita Gurung, Faith Hatcher, Lauren Hochschild, Matthew Hochschild, Tori Hayes, Nathan Huey, Kyle Hill, James Huffman Jr., Casey Ingraham, Nicole Jones, Arshdeep Kaur, Mayana Kush, Sita Khan, Tamara Kuder, Allison Kitchens, Tyler Lance, Hannah Lax, Michael Leahy, Alexia Lemon, Allison Lucci, Graham Lewis, Elvin Lynn, Magris Lindgren, Miles Luongo Clay, James Magee, Brianna Mallet, Megan Martell, Alden Martin, Catherine McCoy, Ronan McGonigal, Sawyer McNish, Aaliyah Mercado, Juliana Messina, Brianna Meyer, Jenna Meyer, Isaac Misoko, Mary Ellen Moran, Maria Munzie, Sarah Nadeau, Jessica Neme, Joanne Nichols, Anders Norton, Autumn Nudd, Megan Neon, Beckett O'Neill, Martin O'Sullivan, Samantha Oshoff, Logan Otto, Delaney Paul, Kayla Pellegrini, Justin Perkins, Ashley Plant, Sydney Plant, Catherine Potter, Rabina Rai, Rachel Revelis, Alexi Ribbit, Danielle Rosales, Ethan Rule, Lauren Sawyer, Hannah Setterquest, Joshua Shamash, Tristan Sherrich, William Shoemaker, Allison Silverstein, Laurel Simpson, Madison Smith, Cadence Solsky, Brianna Solzani, Sean Spain, Maya Sapataro, Rose Spadell, Leah St. John, Emma Sterling, Cade Stewart, Cameron Trianthafal, Sarah Waite, Zachary Walter, Jasper Ward, Victoria Yang, and Isabella Zayes. Next, I'm going to read for the first time ever the career scholars. And some of these students I will acknowledge achieve both career and general scholars. Beginning off with Elena Babushkina has obtained both careers and general scholars. Brittany Bilodeau obtained both careers and general. Serena Barritas obtained both scholars recognition. Abigail Corbett has obtained both scholars recognition. Ava Cody has also obtained both scholars recognition. Ella Doherty has also. Jacob Freed has also obtained both scholars recognition. Samantha Cole Une. Amanda Gamache has also obtained both career and general scholars recognition. Rodrigo Godoy has also obtained both careers and scholars recognition. Clayton Hassel, Kyle Hill has also obtained both careers and general scholars recognition. Emma Kemp, Jacob Karjus, Brianna Mallet has also obtained both career and general scholars recognition. Alden Martin has also obtained both careers and general scholars recognition. Liam McGuire, Brianna Meyer has also obtained both careers and general scholars recognition. Joseph O'Brien, Samantha Oshoff has also obtained both careers and general scholars recognition. Leslie Puck, Rachel Reveles has also obtained both career and general scholars recognition. Camden Richards, Leah St. John has also obtained both career and general scholars recognition. Risha Vasquez. And that concludes our roll call of the 2020 New Hampshire Scholars recipients. Please join me in welcoming and celebrating them. Nice job, guys. As we conclude tonight's events, I just want to express my sincerest gratitude to all those who joined us tonight. Guest speakers, New Hampshire Scholars recipients, and families who are watching this live stream. I cannot express how proud we are here at Concord High School as of this year's recipients. Completing a rigorous course of studies during remote learning has no doubt been a substantial challenge. The light is at the end of the tunnel as we near the end of the school year and your high school career. I assure you, you will no doubt go on to new adventures after graduation. But please, remember all the good times, the great relationships and experiences you had here at Concord High School, as this is now and always will be your home. Congratulations to New Hampshire Scholars Class of 2020. This concludes our celebration. Stay healthy, everybody.